Hello again with 11 STEM and welcome back to our basic calculus class. And before we continue our discussion about limits, let us first answer the activities I have sent you last time. Okay, I sent you 5 items and we need to check it now before we proceed to other topic. Okay, so I will share it on my screen to show those. Okay, so these are our homework, right? Pinactive din natin. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I already wrote that one here on my paper and I will end this share screen and I will proceed to our whiteboard. Okay? So I will share my whiteboard for us to write those. All right. Now, let's start to answer. Our number 1 here is x squared. So I'll put number 1. X squared plus 3x minus 4. And we have the given point, which is 2 and 6. Okay, so how can we answer this one? We need to know first the formula. The formula in finding the limit of this tangent or slope of the tangent line is we have the formula, which is m for the slope is equivalent to the limit of x approaching a, and we have a fraction which has f of x minus f of a all over x minus a. So after knowing the formula that we will use, now we need to find each part of those in our given function and a point, okay? So this here, it's obviously the x squared plus 3x minus 4 will be our f of x, right? Our 2 is our given, is our given a. And our 6 is our f of a, right? So you need to know how to identify those parts first in our given equation in a point. After that one, okay, so I will erase. You need to take a screenshot for this one. It's because I will erase them. Okay. Then let us now solve using that formula. Okay, so I will put here limit x approaching a. Our a is 2, right? So we have 2. And our f of x will be x squared plus 3x minus 4. Remember the operation, we have minus, and then the f of a, which is 6. Okay, all over x minus, what is our a? Our a is 2. Okay, so easy. Now, let us see or let us prove if this one can be used, this substitution property. Since we have 2 here as x, we cannot use that one because 2 minus 2 is 0. It will give us an unidentified answer, so cannot. So let us simplify x squared plus 3x minus 4 minus 6 and find its factor or find its factors. So it will become x squared plus 3x, or it has 3x, it has x, okay? Now, negative 4 minus 6, Like sign, so I will copy negative. Like sign is plus, so 6 plus 4 is 10 over x minus 2. As you can see here, on the lower part, we actually have a clue. So one of its factors on the upper part is x minus 2. It's because all of the solution, it must have just like this. So we can cancel out like that. Okay, so we need to find the other. So what will be the partner of negative 2? So if we have the answer negative 10, again, what will be the number we need to multiply by negative 2 in order for us to get the negative 10? So that will be positive 5. It's because positive 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. Okay? And 5 minus 2 is positive 3. That's why we have these two factors, which have x minus 2 and x plus 5. Now, since we have now the same equations on the upper part and the lower part, we can now cancel them. So I will cancel those two, and we have the remaining equation, which is x plus 5. Okay? Since we already found the simplest form of the equation of this, we can now use the substitution property. Okay? So I will now change x as 2, then plus 5. So we have the slope of the tangent line, which is 7. That is for number 1. Okay? That is for number 1. Easy. Okay, let's proceed to number 2. Let's proceed to number 2. I will put another, okay? Hindi ko tinanggal yung nauna kasi mamaya we will see those again later. Okay, so we have number 2. Our number 2 is we have 1 over x, correct, as our equation. And we have the line, which is 2 and 1/2. Right? Okay. Now, so we will put now those equations are given to our formula. So I will put limit x approaching a. Our a is 2. Correct? And then we have the f of x. Our f of x is 1 over x minus our f of a is 1 over 2. All over x minus our a is 2. Okay? So, ang ginawa ko dito is I just change all the parts into its given equation or a number. Okay? Para ma-solve natin siya. And then, in order for us to simplify the upper part, since it looks tricky, okay? We have 1 over x minus 1/2. Paano siya simplify? Now, how to subtract fractions? We need to find the common denominator, right? So we will find its common denominator, which is 2x. So paano siya i-shortcut? Okay, so I will change the color of my pen into blue and para makita din kung paano ko siya sino. Okay, so I will multiply 2 on that part, x on that part, and multiply also the lower parts. Say natin. So for the upper part, so 2 times 1 is 2, minus x times 1 is x. All over x times 2 will be 2x. So, iisang equation na lang siya. Right? It's because on the upper part, we have two equations. We have 1 over x and 1/2. Here, we only have one equation, which is 2 minus x over 2x. All over, we have x minus 2. Now, another thing, you need to know how to divide fractions. Since x minus 2 is a whole number, I will put 1 on this lower part, right? Then, I will multiply using this kind of solution. So, anong mauuna? Yung mas malaki muna ang unahin natin or mas maluwang na circle or semicircle. So, we have 2 minus x times 1. Okay, we'll put it here. So, it will become 2 minus x over 2x times x minus 2. Okay, so ang gagawin ko dito, hindi ko na sila i-multiply. Okay, gagawin ko lang sila as factors. So I will just copy 2x and I will just copy x minus 2. Okay, what is the purpose? It's because papahirapan nyo na yung sarili ninyo if you will multiply 2x and x minus 2. Kasi mamaya magka-cancel din naman tayo. Okay, so the easiest way or the best gawin is wag nyo na siyang i-multiply. Got it? Okay, so we have 2 minus x. So how can we cancel 2 minus x and x minus 2? Last time we already know how to find its just like the counterpart of 2 minus x, right? So ang gagawin ko dito is pagpapalitin ko yung positions ni x and 2. So on this kind, I will change this color para mas makita ninyo kung paano ko siya i-change to another one. Okay? So we have here, we will interchange, correct? So I will put negative x on the first part. And this one is positive, so I will put plus 2. Correct? And then, para maging kaparehas siya ng x minus 2, I will, tawag dito, ilalabas ko yung negative sign. So I will put the negative sign outside. And inside, we have negative x divided by x is x. 2 divided by negative is negative 2. Correct? Now, they are now the same on the lower part. So I will just put negative x minus 2 all over 2x x minus 2. Right? Now, so itong dalawang to, we can now cancel them since they are the same. So, we have only 1 on the upper part, or negative 1, I should say, and then we have 2x. Okay? So we now, okay, we can now substitute the lower part since it will not end into 0 or identified, correct? So it will become negative 1 over 2 times our a is 2. So we have the final answer, which is negative 1/4. This will be the slope of the tangent line. Negative 1/4. Okay? So that will be the answer. Screenshot. Screenshot natin. Okay. Parang nag-iiwanan. So let us now proceed to the third number. Our number 3, where's my number 3? Ito. So we have the equation x squared plus 4x minus 5. Okay? Is it minus 5? Tignan ko yung nasa equation kasi nasa solution na ako eh. Oh, okay. So we have only x squared plus 4x. So we have x squared plus 4x. Hindi kasama si negative 5 kasi part na siya ng point. And we have the point which is 1 and 5. Okay? So 1 and 5. Yeah. And let us now put those in our formula, which is limit x approaching a. Our a is 1. Our f of x is x squared plus 4x minus our f of a, which is 5, all over x minus our a is 1. Okay? No more substitution properties because 1 minus 1 is undefined. That is 0. Okay? So we have to find the factors of x squared plus 4x minus 5. As I've told you, itong naunang part, we can now use negative x minus 1 as one factor, right? So we have x minus 1. We will just find the other factor, okay? So what will you multiply to negative 1 to make it negative 5? Okay, wala naman iba kundi yung plus 5. So we have x plus 5. It's because 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. 5 minus 1 is positive 4. Okay? So since these two are the same, so ang may a1 na lang is x plus 5. And for this simplest form, we can now put the value of x or the, how do you call this one? Yung given natin na 1 doon sa x approaching to a given number, which is 1. So I will put just like 1 plus 5. And 1 plus 5 equals 6. And this will be the tangent or the slope of the tangent. The slope of the tangent. Okay? This is for number 3. Now let's proceed to number 4. What is this? Number 4, we have the given of 2x squared minus x plus 1, and the given point is negative 1 and 4. Let's put those on our formula. So leave x approaching a, our a is negative 1, correct? And then we have the f of x, or 2x squared minus x plus 1 minus our f of a is 4, all over x minus our a is negative 1. Okay? Let's simplify. Let us simplify. So we have 2x squared minus x. 1 minus 4 is negative 3, all over x minus negative 1 is x plus 1. Now, it's a bit tricky here on the upper part. Kasi sabihin nyo, sir, meron namang to sa unahan. Wala namin nahanapin. Okay? You need to know how to use, okay, how to use your past lessons in grades 7 to 10 until up to 11. Oh, no, yes, from 7 to 10 in algebra para masagot yung mga ganitong questions. This one can be solved when you're in grade 10. I think this one is the first quarter, if I'm not mistaken. So we can use what we call synthetic division. Okay? So ano yung synthetic division na yan? This is how we can use this. So I will just copy all the numbers na nasa equation. So we have 2. Kapag walang number sa isang x, that means we have automatically 1. And that is negative 1 plus negative x. And then negative 3. Now, I will bring it down. And I will think of a number na kapag pupunta rito, dapat ay magiging 3 para makancel yung nasa dulo. Correct? That is our main goal. So, we can use negative 1. Let's try negative 1. Kasi magta-try ka dito eh. So, you will think. Hindi, ibig sabihin ka man nagkamali ka, sir, wala, hindi na pwede. No, you need to think another number. Okay? So, I will choose first negative 1. So, I will multiply this 2. Well, negative 1 times 2 is 2. Negative 1, it's negative 2, I should say. Negative 2, right? And then negative 1 minus 2. Negative 1 minus 2 is negative 3. Correct? Negative 1 times negative 3 is positive 3. So therefore, this is one factor. Now, ito yung pinaka-easy. If we have now this kind of numbers, kung isipin mo, ay hindi na pwede ang whole number, that means you will now use a fraction. Paano hanapin yung fraction? You will just see kung ano yung mga numbers na nandito. Okay? Yung upper part natin is always the second number. If this one is negative 3, so ang kukunin ko lang is yung positive 3. Kabaliktaran niya. Okay, then I will just copy 2. So we have 3 over 2. Okay. So let's see kung tama ako. 3 over 2 times 2. That is 6 over 2, right? So 6 over 2 is also 3. That's positive 3. So, kapag meron lang tayo natirang isang number and isang x, that means this is now the final. So our factors are negative 1 and 3 over 2. Sir, paano ko siya gagawing equation? Ito yung mga value ng x's. Tama? These are the value of the x. So, kapag gagawin ko siya into an equation, okay, negative x equals negative 1. Right? So I will just put this one here. So from negative into positive. So we have now one equation. Just x plus 1. And the other equation that we have is this one. X equals 3 over 2. And simplify natin. I will multiply both sides by 2. So they will be cancelled. And we have now 2x on this part equals 3. Right? And then I will put 3 here. So we have the final 2x, 3 transpose, it will become negative 3. So we have now this equation. So we have 2x minus 3 over x plus 1. Okay? Now, as you can see, we have now the same equations on the upper part and the lower part. So we can now cancel those. After finding the simplest form of the equation, let us now put the value of x doon sa ating x. So our x is negative 1. So I'll put this negative 1 minus 3 equals 2 times negative 1 is negative 2 minus 3 is negative 5. So this will be the answer for number 4. For number 4. Okay? Okay? Let's proceed to number 5. Number 5. Our number 5 is consist of the equation 2x. I hope this one is correct. Kasi nawala yung copy ko. 2x cube. Okay. And our point is -2 and -16. Okay. Now, let's proceed to the solution. We have the limit x approaching a, which is -2. And we have the f of x minus -16. Okay. All over x minus -2. Let us simplify. 2x cubed, negative and negative, it will become positive. Excuse me, 16 and then x, negative, negative, so we have plus 2. Okay? Now, so we have here a polynomial with the highest degree of 3. Okay? So isa na siyang polynomials because the highest degree is more than 2. So that's 3. So still, we will use the synthetic division. Okay? So I will copy x, yung x cube, para makita nyo paano ko siya gagawin. Okay? Then the constant. X cube, we have 2. X squared, we don't have any number. X, we don't have any number. Yung constant natin, which is 16. Okay? Para lang makita nyo kung paano ko siya kinuha. Now, since we already have a clue here, I can use that one to find the other. Okay? To find the other factors. So since we have x plus 2, if I will find x, it will become x negative 2, right? So we have negative 2 here. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. 0 minus 4 is negative 4. Negative 2 times negative 4 is positive 8. 0 plus 8 is 8. 8 times negative 2 is negative 16. Okay, negative 16. So these are canceled. So one of our factor is x plus 2. So, pwede na siyang i-cancel dito. Now, let us try to find the other factors. So here we have 2, 4, 8. Let's see. If we will use 2, cannot. Depende yung 2. Okay? If I will use negative 1, so negative 2, negative 6, 6 also cannot. If you tried a lot, okay, pwede rin namang hindi na natin siya itutuloy. Okay? Hindi itutuloy. Kasi it's already canceled the lower part. Kapag na-cancel na yung nasa ilalim, kahit hindi mo nahahanapin yung iba pang factors. So, let us just put this one or this numbers into its equation. Okay? So, since tatlo na lang sila, so 8 will be the constant, negative 2 will be the x, and 2 will be the x squared. So, paano ko siya gagawin equation? So, I have here x plus 2, since I already found it, x plus 2, and then this one, we will just partner them. Okay, so we have 2x squared partnered, negative 2x partnered, and then plus 8, all over x plus 2. Did you understand? Okay, so let us now cancel those two. O, diba? Wala na tayong denominator. That means, hindi na mag-undefined yung ating sagot. So we can now use the substitution property. So si x, gagawin ko na siyang negative 2. right? Okay, let's solve. 2, negative 2 squared is 4. Negative 2 times negative 2, we have 4 plus 8. Next. And then we have 2 times 4 is 8, plus 4 plus 8 is 12. And then 8 plus 12 is 20. So this will be the slope of the tangent line. As simple as that. Okay? So those are the answers of our number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. Let us see all of those. Okay? Answer for number 1 is 7. Number 2 is negative 1/4. Number 3 is 6. Number 4 is negative 5. And number 5 is 20. Okay? So check your papers if you are correct. If not, please copy how do we found all of those here in this video. Okay? Got it? Now, let's proceed to, let us now proceed to our next topic. Okay? This is also related to our past topic, and this is called as the limit definition of derivative. So our concentration last time is the slope of the tangent line. Okay? Why we did that one first is because we will use that formula to find another formula to find the limit of a derivative, or we find the derivatives using limits. Okay, did you get it? We will find derivatives of functions using the limit. Okay? So to understand that one, this is our formula for the slope of the tangent line of a function f of x, and a f of a is given by this formula, correct? Now, we will use the other form of this slope of a tangent line to find the derivative of a function. And what is that formula? This will be the alternative form of the slope of a tangent line. So we have different, how can I say this one? We have the different parts. How can I say? Yeah, with different parts. As you can see, since we are using always x for the lower part here, for this lower part, right? Ngayon, h naman yung gagamitin natin. Okay? So, paano siya paano siya gagamitin? Or how can we use this one to find the derivative of a function? Okay? So you need to memorize first the formula, which is we have limit h is approaching 0. We have always 0 here. Huh? F of a plus h minus f of a all over h. Okay? So there are a lot of equations that we encountered. So isa-isahin ko yon, at least maybe 5 examples para mas maintindihan nyo kung paano makuha yung derivative of a function using this formula. Okay, let's start. I will share my whiteboard again. Diba? Ang gulo pa rin ng whiteboard natin. Okay, so bubuhin ko ito lahat. It's because they already finished. Okay. do this. Number one example. Or remember first the formula. So this will be the formula. H, oops. It's approaching 0. Okay. F. What is happening here? Again. We have the limit of H approaching 0. And we have the line. Okay. And then F. What is the Okay, let's do it again. F. So, napupunta talaga siya sa taas. Sorry for this technical problem. Okay. Again, limit of H approaching 0. F of x plus H minus f of x all over H. So that'll be the main formula. If you, kumbaga, kung napapansin niyo dito, I have changed A as X. Okay, malalaman niyo mamaya kung bakit ko siya pinalitan. But they're still the same. Okay, they're still the same. Kasi mas madaling maintindihan if you will use X. Okay, you will know why later. So we have the first example. The first example is we need to find the f of x equals 3. Okay, when we say derivatives, we will use the word prime. Okay, so this is the symbol for derivative, the prime. Okay, yung prime yung parang with nasa taas. So we will find the derivative of this function. Okay? So yeah, explain ko muna kung paano identify yung mga parts. Okay, so for this part, okay, so ditong part na to is we must change itong part na to, my goodness. Nagdulo ko yung aking tablet. Okay, so this one, I will just use this. So, itong part na to, ibig sabihin yan is, papalitan niya yung nasa X. Okay? Papalitan niya yung nasa X. Do we have X here sa ating unang given? We don't have any X, right? So parang wala lang siyang pakialam dyan. Okay? So since we don't have the X here on this part, I will just put limit of H approaching 0, 0, okay, minus our f of x, which is 3. Correct? So yung f of x dito is yung ating mismong given. My goodness. 3. So that will be our first two. Again, itong part na to, yung x plus h na yan, dapat meron tayong ax. Okay, for example, if we have 2x. So instead of x lang yan, magiging 2x plus h. Eh kumbaga, it will change the value of x as x plus h. So lahat ng x's doon ay mapapalitan ng x plus h. That is what I mean. Okay? So yun yung trabaho ng x plus h. And then yung f of x, that will be the main given. So for example, f of x equals 2x plus 1. So if I will find the f of x on this part, so ang ilalagay ko lang is 2x plus 1. Got it? Excuse me. Okay? So we have now here, and then the last part will be over h. So we have h as 0. Yan. So paano na gagawin yan? How can we find now this kind of part? Okay, so medyo magulo, di ba? So we will do it again. Okay, what I mean here, kung paano gagamitin yung okay, para matanggal yung isa. Okay, so here, what I want to explain is paano gamitin yung mga parts, right? So we have, gaganon pa rin siya, nakakainis. Limit of h approaching 0. Ito pang tayo. Diyan ko muna lahat. Okay. Limit of h approaching 0, and we have f of x plus h minus f of x over h, right? That will be our main formula. And for example, our number 1 is f of x equals 3. Okay? So sabi ko kanina, since yung x plus h, it must change the x. Correct? It must change the x. So if I will change x as x plus h, it still equals 3. Okay? Yun yung isang mali kanina. Okay? Now, let us put that one into our formula. So we have f of x plus h, which is 3, okay, minus our f of x is also 3, and all over, so ano siya, our h. Okay, so we have 3 minus 3, that will be 0, over h, and any number that has a numerator of 0 is always 0. Okay? It will just tell us that the derivative of a constant is always 0. Okay? Kahit anong constant yan, ang derivative pa rin yan is 0. Okay? For example, f of x equals 1 million. What is the derivative of f of x 1 million? Still 0. Okay? So the derivative of a constant is always 0. That's the first example. Derivative ng isang constant is always 0. Okay? Next example. Lahat ng mga tuburin ko na lang. Yan. Ito pa yun ang bura. Okay, nagbubura pa lang siya. Nagpa-process. Ayan. Okay. Example number 2. What if yung equation natin is magiging linear na siya? For example, we have f of x equals 3x minus 1. Okay, remember the formula we have. Limit of h approaching 0, f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. Okay, that will be our formula. Okay, so we have now here, we need to find the f of x plus h, right? That means we will change every x to x plus h, correct? So we have 3x plus h minus 1. So it will become 3x plus 3h minus 1. Okay, so this will be our x plus, or f of x plus h. Okay, let's put those in our formula. So f of x plus h is 3x plus 3h minus 1 minus f of x is 3x minus 1. Right? All over the h. Only h. So wala namang value yung h. And we cannot use 0 is because kapag 0 yung ilalim, it will become identified. Or undefined, I should say identified. Undefined. Okay? So let us simplify things here. As you can see, we have 3x and negative 3x. Oh, no. Wait. I forgot the parenthesis here. It's because it's not yet simplified. So we will simplify this one first. So we will distribute the values of, or the negative sign to the numbers inside. So we have here 3x plus 3h minus 1 minus 3x plus 1 all over h. Yan, so nagkasama na sila. So we can now identify like terms. They're the same, okay? And these two are also the same. Okay, so we can now cancel them. Taruin ko ng maayos. We have this, and this, this, and this. Right? So I will cancel them. So ano na matitira? We have 3h over h. Correct? So, since we have h on both upper part and the lower part, we will just cancel them. Okay? So, yung h na dalawa is magiging cancel, and then ang matitira na lang is 3. So, the derivative of 3x minus 1 is 3. Again, the derivative of 3x minus 1 is 3. Using the limit or using the, using limit as the formula. Okay? That's the number 2. Let us proceed to number 3. Number 3. Ayan, number 3 tayo. Our number 3 is, so number 3 ko, x squared, ayan, magiging quadratic na siya. X squared plus x. Ayan, x squared plus x na tayo. So we need to find, we need to find the derivative of x squared plus x. Okay? So hindi ko na gagawin yung formula. I-apply na lang natin. Okay, so we have the first given, which is f of x equals x squared plus x. Okay? Second one is we will put f of x plus h equals, yung x squared natin magiging x plus h squared plus x natin x plus h. Right? It's because we will change every x or each of each x as x plus h. Okay, so medyo mahaba-haba lang siyang i-solve. Now, and then we now put those into our given equation or yung given formula natin, di ba? So yung x plus h muna tayo. So we have x plus h squared plus x plus h minus x squared plus x all over h. Diba? Hindi mo tinag yung h sa baba. No? Okay, this one. Let us now put the negative sign inside the x squared and x. So it will become x plus h squared plus x plus h minus x squared minus x all over h. Diba? Medyo mahaba-haba siya. Ayan, so na-simplify na yung, paano ba, left or right? Right na part. Tama ba? Kasi nakaharap ako dito eh. So right dito. Okay? And then let us now, what will be the next one? So, gagawin natin is we need to combine all of those. So, combine pa natin. Paano combine kaya yan? Mahaba-haba. Okay? So, combine natin siya. Dito. Unahin ko muna yung, ito gawin ko muna siyang, i-expand ko muna siya. Okay. So we have x squared plus 2hx plus h squared plus x plus h minus x squared minus x all over h. So this part I expanded, and then itong dalawang to pinagsama ko na lahat since hindi naman sila i-multiply. Ang kanilang operation is minus. So I put x plus h minus x squared minus x. And now, let us find some equations or some variables na magkaparehas. Or kumbaga, yung isa is positive, yung isa is negative. So I saw here, yung x squared na dalawa. We have positive and the negative. Right? So they are now cancelled. I also saw positive x and negative x. Okay? So they are now also cancelled. Right? So ang matitira na lang dito, is, so di ba nga ba, saan ko siya ilalagay? Kasi sa bandang taas. I will change the color para ayan, para hindi kayo malito. So, ang kukunin ko na lang is si 2hx plus h squared plus h all over h. Tama? Kasi na lang yung ating natira. So here, since all of the parts of the upper part ay merong x, ay merong h, as siya eh. Merong h. So, pwede ko siyang ilabas. Correct? So, ilalabas ko si h. So, si h dito, so ilalabas ko si h, it will become h multiplied by 2x plus h plus 1 all over h. Okay? And then, we will cancel now h. We'll cancel h. Okay, wait. We will cancel h. And then matitira na lang si 2x plus h plus 1. So since we don't have any denominator now here, we can now use the substitution property. Okay, so yung value ng ating h is 0. So I will change h as 0. Okay, so ang maging final answer natin will be 2x plus 1. So this will be the derivative of x squared plus x. We have 2x plus 1. Okay, nakikita ba dito? 2x plus 1. Ayan, para makita sa ilalim. So that will be the example number 3. Okay? Got it? Okay, isa pa. Number 4. Ayan, number 4. Number 4 will be, ayan, para at least lahat ng mga kind of equation na pwede nyong ma-solve is mabibigay ko dito as example. Okay? So meron na tayong constant, meron tayong linear, meron tayong quadratic, and meron naman tayo ngayon is irrational naman tayo, irrational. Or yung sinasabi merong square root. So we have the f of x equals the square root of x. So paano naman nahanapin yung kanyang derivative? Okay? Now let us change this one into f of x plus h. Right? So f of x plus h is equivalent to square root of x plus h. Right? Okay? And then i-input na natin siya doon sa ating formula. So we have the limit of h approaching 0 at f of x plus h, okay, is the square root of x plus h minus the square root of x, which is f of x, all over h. Got it? Diba? So here, kumbaga, medyo mahirap talaga yung part nung nasa taas. Sir, paano ko siya gagawing kumbaga mas-simplify? It's because they both have a square root. Hindi ko naman siya pwedeng i-square na dalawa. Hindi naman sila parehas. So it's hard. So ang gagawin natin dito is we will use what we call the conjugate property. Yung conjugate property na yan is we will find, kumbaga, i-multiply natin siya since we be the conjugate of this, the upper part. So gagawin lang natin is I will just copy. Okay. I will just copy the two equations pero iibahin ko yung sign. Okay? If that is negative, magiging positive. Kung positive yan, magiging negative. That's the conjugate. Okay? Kung ano yung nilagay mo sa taas, yun din yung ilalagay mo sa baba. So we have here the the square root of x plus h plus the square root of x. Okay? Nakukuha? So that is how we can find its conjugate. Conjugate ang tawag doon. Conjugate property. Okay, so kung nahihirapan kayo, pwede nyo siyang gamitin. I think this one is already introduced when you are in grade 10 also. Yung conjugate property, if not mistaken. Okay? Kung naturo na sa inyo, hindi. The conjugate property. And then let us now multiply all of those. Okay? Let us multiply. So since we have here the same, sige pa, ikon ko muna siya ha. So we have x plus h minus all over, oops, all over h square root of x plus h plus the square root of x. Yeah, so this will be the combination of the equations na nasa taas, yung ginawa natin conjugate. Okay, so here, as you can see, okay, putting that. Now here, as you can see, we have a perfect square. Why was it a perfect square? For example, we have here x squared minus 4. Diba? Ang palaging sagot dito is kukunin mo lang yung, we will just get the, kumbaga, square root of x squared, which is x, and then yung square root ng 4, which are positive 2 and negative 2. So this kind of solution is we will put it here. Okay? So paano siya gagawin? So we will multiply, kumbaga magiging square root of x plus h squared minus square root of x squared. Tama? All over h. Kung napapasin nyo, hindi ko pinapakialaman yung nasa ilalim. Okay, hindi ko rin siya pinako-combine. It's because later on, malalaman nyo kung bakit. As I have said a while ago, di ba? Sabi ko sa inyo, wag nyo muna silang ipag-combine yung nasa ilalim. Hayaan nyo muna silang nakaseparate. Kasi doon nyo makikita mamaya kung ano yung mga pwedeng i-cancel. Okay? That's the one, kumbaga, is parang pinaka-wise na, wise na, how do you call that one? Wise na technique, diba? Para mas mapadali yung ating solution. So since we have now just like this, okay, we can now cancel those parts. Okay? So magiging wait, there's something wrong here. Wait, I will copy this one into the other part para dito maguluhan. Pati ako naguluhan. I will put again the square root of x plus h minus the square root of x multiplied by square root of x plus h plus the square root of x. Okay? all over h square root of x plus h plus square root of x. Okay? So kung medyo hindi nyo na-gets yung sinasabi ko kanina, we will use yung pinaka-solution, kumbaga, yung napag-aralan ninyo. Okay? So paano gagawin yun? Just use the FOIL. Tama? So we have x plus square root of x plus h times square root of x plus h. Okay? We can put as x plus h only. Okay? Plus, we have what's the plus? We have plus yung nasa dulo. Plus square root of x times the square root of x plus h minus square root of x square root of x plus h, right? And then minus square root of x times the square root of x is x. Kumbaga na-cancel lang natin yung ating mga square root. Okay? So we have now the x plus h plus square root of x is square root of x plus h minus square root of x square root of x plus h minus x. Diba? All over h square root of x plus h plus square root of x. Okay? Diba ang gulo-gulo? Ang dami. Okay? And as you can see here, meron tayong dalawang equations na pwedeng i-cancel. Okay, we have the positive x plus h, and the negative x, square root of x, and x plus h. So those are cancelled. Okay? Okay, next. Ngayon naman is we will write the simplification of this one. X plus h minus x. Okay? So dito meron na palang makakancel na hindi ko pa nakita. Diba? Okay, tuburin ko lang to. Ayan. Ayan. So we can also cancel yung dalawang x. Diba? This one, positive x and negative x. Correct? So ang matitira lang sa ilalim is only Okay. So sa taas, ang matitira na lang is h over h square root of x plus h plus square root of x. O, diba? And then h and h will be cancelled also. Yan, makakancel na ng dalawang h. Okay? So, on the upper part, ang matitira na lang is 1 over x plus h, or square root of x plus h plus square root of x. Now, for this kind of part, since sa ilalim natin, hindi na tayo magiging undefined ang sagot, we can now use the substitution property. Okay? Yung h natin is always 0. Right? So I will put 0 sa h natin. So we have 1 over the square root of x plus 0 plus the square root of x. Okay? So it will become, we'll put here, it will become 1 over the square root of x plus the square root of x. Okay? And then for the final part, since they are the same, square root of x and square root of x, ang i-add lang natin yung kanilang mga constant value. Okay, those constant value is 1 and 1. So it will become 1 over 2 square root of x. And this will be our answer. So the derivative of f of x equals square root of x is 1 over 2 square root of x. So ito yung first part kanina. Okay? Na medyo magulo doon sa part ng nasa baba. Okay? And then this will be the continuation. So ginamit ko is FOIL para mas maintindihan ninyo. And then, that's how it goes. Okay. Easy? Okay, last one. Last example bago tayo mag-end. Okay, last example. So meron na tayong constant, meron na tayong linear, meron na tayong quadratic, meron na tayong irrational, which is the square root. Magkaroon naman tayo ng isa pa, which is rational naman tayo. Kapag rational, fraction. Tama. Okay. Okay, last example. We have f of x equals 1 over x. Ayan, rational naman tayo. Para at least lahat ng mga pwedeng ibigay ko sa inyo, sarang nyo na siyang sagutin. Okay? So, let us find again the other one, which is the f of x. Ayan, ulit. F of x plus h equals 1 over x plus h. Right? So, may 1 tayo dito. Ayan, yun si 1. Let us now put those in our formula. So we have the limit of h approaching 0. And we have the f of x plus h, which is 1 over x plus h, and minus 1 over x, all over h. Okay? Now, yung sa upper part natin is gagawin natin yung ginawa natin kanina doon sa example or no, doon sa activity doon sa tangent line. So, hanapin muna natin yung kanyang LCD na nasa ilalim. Okay? So, I'll change the color para mas makita nyo dito. So, I will change here in this part. So, that one will so x here will be multiplied to 1. Okay? And then yung x plus h will be multiplied to another 1. Tama? So, magiging x minus x plus h all over x plus h times x. Correct? I multiply those to the upper part, to the lower part, para mas kita natin. Okay? Oh, nakalimutan ko yung dito. Kasi hindi pa naman siya final. Okay, now, let us now simplify that one. Simplify natin yung part na to. So we have x. I will transpose the numbers here. So it will become negative x minus h. Correct? All over x plus h times x. Ayan, hindi ko na naman siya minultiply doon. It's because mas madali natin siyang maka-cancel mamaya. Okay, so as you can see here, we can now cancel the two x's. Okay, x and minus x, that is 0. So ang sa taas natin, we can now put negative h over x plus h times x all over h. Right? And then, how to divide fractions? I will put 1 here on the lower part, and then we will use the or this kind of solution. Right? Okay. So, sa taas natin is matitira na lang si negative h times 1 is negative h still, and then I will multiply h sa x plus h at sa x. Okay? So, as you can see dito, hindi ko pa rin siya, tawag dito, hindi ko pa rin siya kino-combine. Okay? Para mas madali siyang makancel mamaya. So here, since we have both h on upper part and the lower part, diba h sabi ko, both h, okay, na nasa upper part and lower part, we can now cancel them. So ang matitira sa taas is negative 1 all over x plus h times x. Okay, equals, and then we will now change h into 0. So we have negative 1 over x plus 0 times x, right? We will put it here. We will put here. Okay, so we will now put here, and then it will become 1, or negative 1, I should say, negative 1 over negative 1 over x times x. Okay, and then what is x times x? So negative 1 over x squared. So this will be the derivative of 1 over x. We have negative 1 over x squared. Okay, so those are how we can find the derivative of a function using limits. Okay, so this will be the end of our video class, and I will send your activity in the QSA. Okay, see you again next time. Bye.